Invincible.
Welcome back to this episode of Under Review. We're just talking about the Western Conference, and here we're doing our Eastern analysis for the playoffs, round 2. Starting off with this afternoon's game where the Wizards play against the Boston Celtics at home for Boston. Who wins this, guys, and how many games, and what's going to happen? Let's start with you today. This time.
The way I saw Boston play against Chicago, I think at first we were like, is it the worst team ever? But they're unstoppable. Like, I'm gonna pick Boston in 7 because John Wall,
something to prove.
Yeah, he's gonna win a bunch of games. But yeah.
And how about you, Mark?
Well, I really like the series, first of all, because I like the whole John Wall versus Isaiah Thomas. I think it's going to be a great matchup,
Guard.
And you're going to find out who the true superstar is between them, right? Because I say they're pretty close comparisons, especially this year even, to a certain extent, right? And John Wall's really turned it on in the playoffs. With that said, I think Washington will take it, and they'll take it in 6 or 7, so I'm going to say 7.
Yeah.
Tough, hard-fought series, but they're on a roll. They've got a lot going for them. I think they're going to really show it here.
I agree with France that it'll probably be game 6 or 7 for Boston. I'll say Washington in 6 and Boston in 7. Mainly because in the first round...
Hold up.
So
Washington in 6 and Boston in 7?
Yeah, so if Washington... You can't do that, sir.
I can't do that?
You can't do that, sir. You got to pick one or the other.
Boston in 6 or 7. Mainly, I like this matchup in a sense that in the first round, I feel like both these teams had somewhat of an equal matchup to give them a hard time, like the Washington with Atlanta and Boston with Chicago. Going into the series, like you said, I think it's a good matchup for Isaiah Thomas versus John Wall, Bradley Beal versus Avery Bradley. In the post, like Marcin Gortat, like who's going to stop him? Who knows? That's where probably the X factor is. At the small forward position, Otto Porter versus Jay Crowder. I don't know, just the way Boston won their last 4 games against the Bulls, I have to give it to Boston in 6 or 7. So
but they are very evenly matched.
But they surprised us, by the way. We thought they were very much in trouble in the first round, and they bounced back. But
that's sports, right?
Yeah,
you underestimate, and then they turn it on.
Having said that, though, I'm only like 55% saying Boston versus 45 for Washington, because it did take Rondo getting injured for Boston to start
coming back immediately.
Yeah, so
like broken thumb game after game 2, broken thumb. They won Chicago. What happened? No more defense. Boston just came back into
so
this.
Washington.
True, but then I'm
healthy.
thinking
Washington's healthy though.
Yeah,
so.
and not just that, but we can't compare. I'm sorry, I know you love Rondo, but you can't compare Rondo and Wall.
No, you can't.
So like with that said, I mean.
But from a defensive standpoint, you can. But apparently, John Wall's a really good point guard defensively. So.
Yeah.
Let's just say I would never put money on it for that series.
It's a pick'em series.
It's a really dangerous series.
Yeah.
So.
But I understand what you're saying about Boston in 6, but if it goes to game 7, they lose, right? Just like
I was gonna say Washington in 6, but if they lose, they go back to Boston, and like you can't be the number 1 seed at home in a game 7 and lose to
Yeah, so it's kind of like with the Raptors. You said Raptors in 6, but if it goes to game 7, they lose versus the Bucks.
Exactly, and that's what happened.
And that could have happened very much so, right?
Yeah.
Which is why I think the Raptors were so urgent about it.
Well, we'll
about
see
winning.
what happens going forward with Boston against Washington. So moving on to everyone's favorite matchup in the East, mainly us. We the North Raptors, 3rd seed against Cleveland Cavaliers, the 2nd seed in the East. This is kind of not really a nail biter. I made it seem like it was, but in my opinion, it's a sweep. So we'll come back to that reason why. Let's start off with who would like to go first?
I'll go.
France.
I've been lucky enough for the 2nd year in a row to get somebody to bet on this game. I was gonna bet the house. I was literally gonna bet $1,000 on that game if I could. Obviously, Cleveland is winning. Maximum 6 games, but no, I'm saying it's done.
That's too generous.
No, not 6, not
Too
6.
generous. 5.
4 or 5. and it won't even be close. What do you think?
I think it's heavily weighted on 4, and then maybe 60% 4 games, 40% 5 games.
Hold up, though. He
Well, go on, Mark. What's
I'm
going
gonna
on?
say this. While watching the playoffs, I have ate a lot of humble pie. Okay. Cleveland has definitely shown, especially LeBron. I mean, he's bringing it. Forget the whole tired thing, the whining. He's brought it. He's right in there and he's zoned in. He's ready to take them again to the finals. You know, and the Raps, I mean, they struggled against Milwaukee heavily. So,
They did.
with that said, though, I'm a man of my word.
Oh my God!
I'm still gonna pick it. We are the North. I am a
Raptors.
supporter, okay? And I'm gonna say it's gonna be a very, very, very hard fought
so hard that
It's gonna be so hard.
7 games. But I think the Raps are gonna pull it out. They're a different team this year in that they added Ibaka, they added PJ Tucker. That's that defensive, prowess that they kind of needed that they didn't have last year.
It's probably
I'm not saying that it's definitely going to be the factor, but it does help.
It's the best team they've ever had.
Probably
right?
one
I
of the
think
best
so.
Raptors
Potentially.
teams they've had. Yeah,
Potentially,
It
right?
is,
All in all.
probably
And
is,
I mean, everyone's, after seeing that game 6 with Milwaukee, they looked really good and then really bad and then turned it on again. So they showed that they are resilient. I think they can find a way. Casey's good at making adjustments to a certain extent. I think they'll find a way. They'll wrap it up in 7.
I think. No, that's it. I think Cleveland sweeps them. That's it. For the simple fact that every player when the Raptors struggled against the Bucks, that was like a sight to see. But now you're up against Cleveland Cavaliers. They're pretty much better at every single position on the floor. Their bench is a bit deep. They got some shooters in
But the
Korver,
Bucks have better
J.R.
defense.
Smith. Well, they might have better defense, but I'm saying every player at the position that the Raptors were playing against are much better now. You're against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and on top of that, in Game 3, Indiana against Cleveland, when LeBron did that historic 26 comeback by himself, without Love or Kyrie Irving, that's not going to bode well for the Raptors, who everyone knows they're really good at blowing third to fourth quarter leads. Okay, so if you blow those leads, Raptors, like, Cleveland's coming back with a vengeance, and it's going to be 4 games ultimately.
The biggest reason why Raptors have 0 chance, 2 years ago, LeBron was playing against a stacked Golden State team. He had nobody. Kyrie was injured, Love was injured, and he still brought it to Golden State. Raptors can't even sniff Golden State.
He's only been there,
So even without Kyrie, even without Love, LeBron still wins against Toronto.
He's only been to the finals 6
The
years in a row.
Raptors went to 6 games.
He's only
Because he was playing with them.
he was playing with them.
Oh, of course, because he can control that, right? LeBron's
who
God.
knows? Why not?
LeBron's God.
You're
There's
talking
God
about
right
probably
there.
the best player in the world. Soon, probably
he
to
is.
be in future conversations, probably comparable to Jordan at some point in his career in the future. He's been to 6 finals in a row.
But I was
He's not going to let the Raptors
I'll put it
prevent
this
the
way.
him.
Raps have constantly, when their back's against the wall, they play their best ball.
I'll do admit the sudden insurgence of Norman Powell. Impressive, by the
exactly.
way.
Very
However,
impressive.
not enough against the
I'll
Cleveland
put it
Cavaliers.
this way. Last year, if it went to Game 7, the Cavs would have won by at least 20 points. LeBron would have smoked them.
Whether it's Shumpert coming off the bench or J.R. Smith, they still got Kyle Korver. They have a lot of shooters. Cleveland's deeper than the Raptors, in my opinion.
And they're better than
We'll
last
see.
year.
I don't know. The Raps
see.
might be able to find a way. You never know.
If
Sports are
Raptors
weird.
win, it's game
Sports are
1.
weird.
Just like every other kind of upset that never happened, they always win in game 1. So
But Raptors
We'll
never
see.
win Game 1.
exactly.
Which
so,
is true.
And like I said, 26-point comeback against Indiana. Raptors cannot blow a third, fourth quarter lead, which they're renowned for.
But the Raps are better than Indiana. And we know that.
Okay, cool, but you cannot blow a lead. Like Raptors always blow the lead in third or fourth quarters, and you can't have that against Cleveland when they're coming back.
But for the most part, they blow the lead, but they come right back. I'm just saying there might be a chance. They're resilient.
Okay.
We'll see if they
The
find
key
a way.
person is Jonas Valanciunas. He needs to step up to make any type of noise in that front court. Forget Ibaka. We need offense,
Yeah, we'll
But
see.
this concludes our episode of Under Review. Once again, let us know down below what do you guys think the outcome of the playoffs will be. Also, friends would like to say a few things.
And again, just a reminder, if you haven't done it in our other video, let us know if you prefer this format where we split the videos, or if you'd rather have us discuss the entire thing in one video, East and West in one video.
Just comment on the simple fact that, you know, this guy's delusional about the Raptors having a chance to win.
And don't forget, don't forget to subscribe. You can also watch our other videos. We have an annotation somewhere here on the screen, so don't forget that.
And hit us up with your ideas. It's important. Show us you care.
Once again, Mark, Laurent, and France out.
Here we go.